And go. Hopefully without getting me lynched this time.
I'm so sorry. We, yes, let us never mention that again. Welcome back, everyone, to Vampire. Um,
No subtitle.
no subtitle.
Kill him, boy!
Hey, we found one of the names.
Die, vermin! Finish it! Crush the leech, boys! Die, vermin!
Wait, are you fighting the Sheen brothers?
Yep.
But then how... what'll happen when you drink all the tiger blood?
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't. At least one of them's been banging 7 gram rock.
Die, vermin! Look here! Like kindling!
We are fighting an undead monstrosity. Let's use mustard gas, because that'll work.
I actually think it's silver.
Oh, like
there's
colloidal
some-
silver type? You know,
I
aerosol.
believe so.
Die, vermin!
Okay, that makes more sense.
Oh, ow.
Well, you killed his brother. He's a little upset. As a reminder, you unlocked your ultimate.
But I'd have to use it, and you are correct. I could have used my ultimate.
I forgot to. I was just watching you beat the heck out of him.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to like, you know, the fights. No, I still don't want to go. I'm only 11th level. Alright, so I figure we'll go and talk to Lady Ashbury.
The blackmail has been solved.
Yes. We did miss a few clues with some of the people, and I'm very sorry about that because I also have a compulsion.
Yep. I think that happened to Halloween too when he went through and did this. Because I think he got the same result.
Yeah, I mean, these quests, like the social interaction things, are actually pretty rough. I mean, to get correct, like fully correct.
Right.
Ah. I'm sorry, we couldn't knock. It was
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
How is that a question?
Yeah.
Okay. He trusted you. In the end, you're a killer. Compassion only hides your appetite.
None of these are particularly...
I mean, what she's doing isn't particularly.
Yeah, this is fair.
But that being said, I'm going to say she did that, like, just before he passed away, which... It's about the most compassion... well, if you're going to do this sort of thing, that's about the most compassionate way you can get about it. I am going to go for he trusted you.
Yeah, it's the least aggressive.
killed him. He trusted you. And you killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
Oh, wow, that... Did she just assume that was sarcasm?
Now, what gets me is she makes that statement and is surviving this method. And yet the game sinks you into the ultimate work. It sinks you into the bad ending if you kill even somebody like Charlie Cox,
Yeah.
who is loads more malignant than her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's... It's an interesting character study thing. It makes... The ending makes sense, and that's not my complaint with it at all.
Right.
But I think I should... I don't want to spoil it.
I have not seen the worst endings, because I think there's only two. There's not like a gradient.
No, there are only two. Well, I think there are three. Like, there's a middle of the road one, but the two extreme ones are... The two not good endings are very similar.
Got it.
I don't know. I don't think we are vampires after all.
It doesn't
'cause-
really fit what he's been saying.
No. No need to apologize. I don't know what we'll actually say if I pick that.
Also, she didn't apologize, so that seems like sarcasm.
Yeah. So the accusation was true. Is this supposed to be like, is that the sarcastic response?
Possible? I mean, we're not seeing it. It's kind of a wheel from like Mass Effect, but if I understand, the BioWare like patented that, so nobody's supposed to be able to use it.
Oh, well, no, but they can't... that's really hard to enforce. I know that, I think so the accusation was true, because this feels like sarcasm.
I do wish it had the labels, like the sarcastic response, instead of giving,
Yeah.
because it's hard to tell the way you're going to say a thing.
No, Mass Effect had exactly the same problem. Okay, sorry, that was an accident.
No problem.
No, Mass Effect had the same problem of you didn't exactly know from your selection. You kind of had to, I did a lot of replaying Mass Effect until I had exactly who my Shepard was come out in everything, and it took a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly because you couldn't save Scum.
Right.
So I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan. I didn't expect this from you.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous the sum of money was. I can assure you it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right, say I trust you, but you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this problem to a satisfactory conclusion.
I believe I could agree to that.
And since a lady always keeps her promises, I will now answer any questions you may have.
The lighting kind of plays off her right eye and making it look like it's blinking on its own sometimes, and it's kind of disconcerting.
It is. Also, she's disappointed in us. We solved the blackmail.
To be fair to her, the way they had us report it is not really great. He didn't really explain matters. He just said, well, I didn't end the blackmail. And he also doesn't say, but I'm sort of handling the problem in another... I didn't kill the blackmailer is what he should say. I've handled the problem in another way. But it's like, oh, I failed to end the problem. It's like, immediately my thought was, wait, no, you did. You absolutely ended the problem. What's going on?
Yeah. No, Crane agreed to stop the blackmail. I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, if she insists on the blackmail now, I'd probably go back and kill her if I had agency.
Yeah.
In the game. But anyway.
I mean, Crane would be somebody that I would almost trust with the idea of, hey, vampires are real. Because she's somebody that looks like they would know something about desperation.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
yeah.
this is a good question.
Yeah.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
I do remember that bit of paper we discovered that said there was like a letter from vampires to other vampires. It's like, hey, yeah, these people act like they're cool and all that, but just don't get on their bad side. Every one of us that has gotten on their bad side has just disappeared off the face of the earth. So don't do it.
Yeah, no, the Brotherhood strikes me as a more effective Inquisition than the Inquisition.
Also, not nearly as fanatical because they're quite willing to work with the vampires.
Mm-hmm.
They strike me more as Chronicles of Darkness hunters, where, you don't have the big sweeping geopolitical things that are in Old World of Darkness.
Yes.
So you like one city, you might have werewolves and vampires that are perfectly fine working together.
Yeah, I actually like that aspect of New World of Darkness.
Yeah, I love that Chronicles is much more fluid on the the geopolitical scale, and you don't have the big things, and most of the big splats just don't interact with each other except rarely. Vampires are
Well,
go on.
Slight correction.
Uh-huh.
What you said. There are big sweeping geopolitical things and conspiracies and all of that. In fact, that's one of the focuses of the Hunter book.
This is true. Yeah.
And a lot of vampire, but they're not automatically antagonistic.
Right. They are also, while they sweep across the world, they're also not quite as monolithic, and the scale is different in some ways. It's like, you're having small groups here and there rather than everybody works the same. It's really a city. Go on.
there's a lot I could talk about V5, but unfortunately we're not playing that game at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. We should get on with this one.
Yeah.
And no one suspected you of the murders.
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then.
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Skulls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
What type of vampire is a Skull?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
Well, stop drinking the blood from people who aren't virgins.
No. I mean, no to what you just said, but also no to how old are you. I'm not asking her that.
Right. That was a weird one about Hellsing. It's like if they're a virgin, they can become a vampire, but if they're not a virgin, they become a ghoul. It's like, what?
I mean, that's pulling a lot from old myths and things like that.
Yeah.
One moment. No, never mind. We're not playing a Hellsing game. We're
Right.
playing this game.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
She is not my maker.
Yeah. That. Why is that other one on the right? Why is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
I really. Here's a question: Is it that like the flu is supposed to be like catching hold of the vampirism and spreading it from people to people? Is that a thing that's supposed to be happening? I can't remember.
No, that is not a thing that's happening. But it's one of the theories. It's one of the early working theories that I think you're supposed to have.
Got it.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
They don't.
Very,
Sorry.
very poetic.
Yeah.
But that was a lie.
Yeah.
She definitely fears things.
Yep. Also, Jonathan doesn't strike me as somebody who talks like a 20th century person. I mean, early 20th century, 1920s. He talks very 19th century.
I think there's a few I think there's a few things going on. If everyone talked like it was 18th century, people would probably complain about the stereotypical British accent thing, because if you want to like, I feel like a lot of people, when they direct show like period pieces like this, they tend to go very stereotypical.
Right. And
So
so they were thinking old-timey, generically old-timey vampire stories. So let's do Dracula era British speech instead of World War One era British speech.
I think there's a bit of that, but also they didn't want to go too stereotypical. Like they're trying to pull it back a bit. Just
Yeah, I mean, he strikes me as very 19th century, but he could be equally 19th century American, East Coast.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well trained.
Though I can't be certain. More than likely, it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
Was it Sword of Pirwin?
yes, I believe so.
Okay.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society, and like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
I'm not
Are
sure.
there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
And once you do, you'll meet them all over the place, because that's the way these games work.
What were you saying?
I said, I'm not exactly sure
Immortal.
the best societies are secret societies. That strikes me as not true.
No, but I believe that was she was kind of making a joke there.
Got it. Okay.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Now and again,
Will they
you...
all be as affable as you, my
Sorry.
No problem.
I do not see why not. But remember, Even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
Okay, we're rare and solitary, and we have politics.
Yep. Like a masquerade,
Yep.
one might say.
I love, you know, Vampire the Masquerade for so many reasons, but the number of copycats is not something that makes me happy.
Yeah, I have thoughts on that, but that's for another video.
Indeed. Speaking of which, I think we just hit 25 minutes, so might as well switch to another video.
I bid you farewell. For now, my lady. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
And did Jonathan just do our outro?
Yes.
Okay, we're switching videos now.